Did Doc Marshall ever make any statements against you?
Yes, Doc Marshall was the reason, bro, why I had to plea out. Doc Marshall made the statements that he seen me receive 80 to 100 kilos on at least 6 occasions or something like that. Okay, and then he had one time that he knew for a fact, and it was 4th of July, 2003. So if I didn't have no alibi about being at my house basically being at my house, it wasn't even about did I receive the drugs. It was just, was I here on July 3rd, 2003 is what my lawyer asked me. And I like, nigga, I was at my house. I had a 4th of July party, July 4th. I had a 4th of July party that day. Or maybe it was on the 3rd because it was a Saturday. It was the day before. I don't know. It was for the 4th of July. It was a party at my house. And I hosted it. So I was at my house all day. I sent runners to go to the store. I never left my house, nigga. The weed came to me. The drink came to me. The meat to put on the grill. People was in the pool, nigga. I'm in the studio, downstairs in the studio and shit. I never left my house. So he was like, yeah, if you ain't got nowhere else that you could put yourself in that day, it's going to be hard. That's because he's saying that he's seen you do it this many times, but he know for sure you did it on this day because y'all was here, y'all was in this garage, this time after a party, everybody had left the party, and after everybody had left, a limo came and blah, 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 blah. And he told a bunch of shit, but a bunch of niggas told on me, bro. I got like 12 statements, main statements. More people even made statements, but the main statements that had my lawyer like, bro, we not finna be sitting here going back and forth with all this shit and all this shit. Some of this shit you did. Some of it I didn't, niggas was lying, but some of it I did. And he was like, bro, we'd do better just going to get a plea, my nigga, than trying to fight all this shit. Going to trial for all this shit, then you get 17 years because a nigga pinched you on the 4th of July, and then they're gonna ask you, okay, well, if you didn't do it on 4th of July, have you ever done it? And then you under oath, or they put you on a polygraph, and then you fail it, and then you don't gotta go under oath because you already felt it, so they just gonna charge you. He like, it's a bunch of shit that go with that shit. He's like, we'd do better, bro, just taking a little 9 years. They basically offering me 9 years at the time. I ended up doing 5.5, but they offered me 9. But they was offering me 9 on the wrong pretense. They was offering me 9 under an average role, and they should have been convicting me under a minor role. So at my sentencing, we moved for a minor role reduction. So I came out of that average role, and because they couldn't prove that none of that shit about what he was saying, it was just his statements. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't prove I had the drugs, and none of that was a conspiracy. So since they couldn't prove it, then they had to go with the majority statements. And the majority statement said that I was loading cars, counting money, that my role wasn't that of a boss in the conspiracy or a leader in the conspiracy. Most people was like, nah, Bleu do the music. Yeah, he probably done did this before. I done seen him do this, but he wasn't controlling no traffic. That's what niggas was telling the police. And so at the end of the day, when the statements were compiled, everybody that had like statements in my case, all was convicted of a minor role. And they were still holding me at an average role, like solely at an average role. So my attorney waited until we went to sentencing. He knew it the whole time. Once he got all the discovery and all of the shit and looked at everything, he was like, hold on. All these 13 niggas, the main snitch, which was Doc Marshall, was said this about. And these 3 or 4 people said this about. And it's the reoccurring statements. Yeah, we seen them loading and counting. We seen them loading and counting. We seen them loading and counting. It was the same statements that got niggas picked up. You feel me? And those statements constituted in a minor role accusation. Since this nigga was saying he had seen me, the rest of these niggas didn't say this, but this nigga said he see, and they star witness. Everything he say, they believe it. Oh, you seen Bleu do 60 or 100 of them? How many? More than 200? Okay, then we finna charge him with 150 or more. And that's at an average roll. You feel me? But they couldn't prove that he seen me with all them bricks. And most of the majority statements said I was just counting money and loading cars. So they going with the majority statements in the court size. You feel me? So now Bleu should have the same minor role like the rest of these defendants on his case. If you looked at the beginning of this BMF shit, when the Source magazine did they breakdown and shit, and they got the DEA BMF family tree, the first one, the initial one, nigga, I'm the underboss right under Meech. It's Eric Bivens up under T, and it's Bleu Davinci up under Meech. It wasn't until niggas got picked up and start telling what was going on that they said, oh, they knocked Bleu down. Bah, man, Bleu wasn't doing the drug shit like that. Bleu. He might have did some shit, but he wasn't doing it like that. Bleu. Everybody's saying it's this J-Bo nigga. Yeah, the junior boss. He's the one everybody keeps saying J-Bo, junior boss. His name is in the mix. We even put him as the what's the name? As the underboss. So then once that shit hit the courts, all that family tree was switched around. People was moved around, and I was brackets up under that shit once we got to court. I was way down here with the drivers and the niggas that was loading cars and shit like that. You feel me? And they never scrutinized BMF Entertainment Incorporated, my company. That shit never went to court. Never got nothing filed against it, nothing. That's why the snitch, bro, Tammy Cowens is able to go and do business as BMF Entertainment because they never came after that shit. When they tried to hit Meech for some money laundering, which would have probably tried to connect him to some BMF Entertainment shit, I sent $366,000 worth of receipts to the court. They're like, how you bought this Ferrari then if you was making legal money? And I sent the receipts. And that was from one club, Crowbar, here in Miami. We did like 582 or something between January and June of 05.